Okay, if you follow the type of music that I'm into, then the name Bob Kulick is probably very familiar. I woke up this morning to some bad news, and that was that Bob Kulick had passed away. Bob Kulick, phenomenal guitarist and producer. Older brother of Bruce Kulick. Those of you who watch would know that I've quoted Bruce Kulick many times in the past in regards to certain ideas and things that I've translated over to martial arts as well. Bob was the original guy that Kiss was going to hire as a guitarist back in the early days, and it wasn't until Ace Frehley had walked in the door that Bob kind of missed out. Wasn't until about 1984, when Kiss needed a guitarist again, Bob came on the scene and suggested his brother Bruce. And of course, as you all know, Bruce stayed with the band for a very long time. Of course, back to Bob, I just finished up listening to Paul Stanley's 1978 album, which featured Bob on guitar. And it was a personal favourite of mine, and I thought, well, in tradition, whenever any musicians that I follow pass away, I listen to an album that was very special to me, and of course, that one was. Bob had also featured his guitar work on Kiss Alive Part 2 from 1977, and Kiss Killers from 1981, I think. That was a German-only compilation album, but it had 3 songs on it. 3 of the songs featured Bob on guitar, and 3 killer songs too. Bob also played on Paul Stanley's 1989 solo tour, which was a really good tour. Okay, so Bob has been a part of many bands and collaborated with a lot of big artists. The very first name that comes to the top of my head is obviously Jeff Scott Soto. Other names would be, let me think, Wasp, Meatloaf. He played with Meatloaf at Wembley Stadium. Michael Bolton, Doro, Diana Ross, Motorhead, Lou Reed. So Bob was definitely amongst the greats. He produced a lot of all-star tribute albums in the early 2000s, and I was a big fan of these albums. One of them was Butchering the Beatles, which was like a heavy metal take on Beatles songs. Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, Iron Maiden. There was a metal Christmas album that was released, which was Wish You a Metal Christmas. I think that was in about 2008. And that featured some really big names in it, like Ronnie James Dio, Lemmy, Alice Cooper, Dave Grohl, Vinny Appice, and of course Jeff Scott Soto. So the last time that I saw Bob kicking ass on the guitar and doing his thing was with the 2017 Kulick Brothers gig on the Kiss Cruise. I wasn't there personally, but I did see the recording online. Bob and his brother Bruce both totally annihilated all these songs, and it was just a great high energy performance. A bunch of songs that Kiss rarely plays, and I guess that's one of his final hurrahs, I guess. So unfortunately, I know there were a few dramas that came with that later on, but we don't need to talk about those. Well, not now anyway. My condolences to Bruce Kulick and family, and I know it's a difficult time, so we salute Bob Kulick here at Kabuki Fox Kung Fu. We know he's rocking out up in the clouds, and yeah, find one of his albums, put it on loud, and rock on.